of the river. You could go 3 kilometers from one side to the other, right? But the average, it's a narrow river. Some parts it goes very large. The extension of the Iguazu River is 1,200 kilometers, about 900 miles land distance. Okay, the beginning of the Iguazu River is close to the Brazilian coast, nearby a place called Curitiba, which is the capital of our state. Curitiba, capital of Paraná state, right? So the Iguazu River, it's a spring. It's very beginning. It's there, and then it goes inland, and it crosses the whole Paraná state from east to west, right? And it's the natural border from the Brazil or Brazilian National Park to the Argentina National Park. Now, Brazil and Argentina, they don't sit down and they don't share information about their national parks, right? There is a lot of research going on in here. So the reason you have a national park is actually the #1 priority of a national park is to protect the area against deforestation, hunting, etc. And then you have a lot of sub-goals, which is to study the area, right? Study the fauna and flora and have scientific based research in these woods to learn about this ecosystem. So we have researchers from both sides, from Argentina and from Brazil, doing their research in these woods. And it's interesting that they don't talk, they don't share any data, right? When I was finishing my master's in clinical psychology, I had some subjects with a fellow who was finishing his master's in natural sciences. He was studying the jaguar, right? So he said once, yeah, Rod, it's a pity that Brazil and Argentina, they don't talk about it. They don't sit down and try to create a bigger action to cover both parts. And that's the interesting line he said, because you know what? Jaguars have no issues with visas. Right? That was his line. So yeah, if there is a Brazilian biologist studying the jaguar, if the jaguar decides to take a swim in the river, they're natural excellent swimmers, right? They cross the Iguazu River to the Argentinian side. So he's hanging on Argentina, he doesn't know it's Argentina, right? So for the animals, for the wildlife, it was a great advantage that both countries decided to preserve the forest around the falls, right? This is subtropical. It's very important to remember that, to understand that. This is not a rainforest, right? Subtropical rainforest. We are 2 degrees below the Tropic of Capricorn. Okay, so the expression rainforest currently, right, in the modern concept, it's more to the geographic location of that forest in relation to the tropics, right, than to the amount of rainfall. So the closer the forest is to the equator line, the more rainforest it is. Did you get it? Okay? So then that's why you will never ever listen or read someone saying the tropical rainforest. You see, it's no need to say tropical rainforest. It's like a euphemism. It's like a saying two things simultaneously. It is already understood on the concept of rainforest that you were talking about a tropical place.